Shalom Aleichem to everybody. Nice to see you, to hear you. And tonight we're talking about an interesting idea. The name of our shmooze tonight is Righteous People Elevate Everything That They Own. This is based on this week's parsha. We're reading in Shul this coming Shabbos, Oorah. This is the parsha that Sarah Menu leaves the world, Avram Avinu leaves the world, and Avram Avinu is looking for a cemetery plot to bury Sarah, and he wants to buy from Ephraim, from the people of Ches, a plot that belongs to Ephraim. And he wants to pay for it. Therefore, no, don't pay for it. I'll give it for nothing. You're so important to us. You're so outstanding person. I don't want to take any money from you. And Avram Avinu said, no, I don't want to take it for nothing. I want to pay for it. So finally, they agree, and Ephraim agrees to take the money from Avram Avinu. And the Torah says, after he bought Yocham, stay Ephraim. The field of Ephraim stood up. Oorah, the cave that was in it, stood up. And all the trees in that land stood up as a purchase to Avram Avinu. What does it mean, stood up? Vayokom means to stand up. What was standing up? What does that mean? So Rashi tells us, Tukuma Paisa Loi. The land got a elevation. Sheyotza miyad hedyot liyad melech. It went out from the possession of a simple person who was Ephraim into the hands of a great person, a kingly person, Avram Avinu. Therefore, the land itself had a elevation by changing ownership from a simple person to a great person. So we see from here that a great person owning something gives a special importance to that thing that he owns. Now, the simple level would say that we know that, let's say, a person, the president of the United States, when they swear him in to be president, will be pretty soon, some of them want to use the same Bible that Abraham Lincoln used when they swore him in. Not all of them, but some of them want to use that Bible that he used. Of course, the Bible is not our Bible. It has the New Testament in it. We don't believe in the New Testament. But why would a person want to use the same Bible that Abraham Lincoln used? Because it gives us, feels a certain connection to him, that he was so important. Abraham Lincoln, such a great president, and now this person becomes president. He wants to feel a kinship with him and feel that he also is going to be great. So therefore, he wants to connect with Abraham Lincoln and take the oath of office with the same Bible that he took the oath of office with. So, in a simple understanding, a thing that's possessed by a great person gets a certain importance to it. That person owns it, and something that very outstanding and special, that the owner of something is so great and so outstanding, so the thing he owns also becomes very great and outstanding. That would be a simple level. But there's a deeper idea here involved, that the thing itself, but owned by a great person, gets a certain holiness to it, as we'll discuss right away, and it becomes holy because the person who owns it is holy, a great person, righteous person. Righteous means goes in the way of the Torah. He's close to Hashem, close to God. He's a holy person. The thing that he owns becomes holy also. And that makes a big difference in the world, because the world we live in is a mundane, earthly, physical world, and God, who's very holy and away from physical things, he's totally holy. He cannot find himself close to this world, so to speak, because he's a different idea, a different entity by himself. He's a holy entity and a different holy world, and it's hard, so to speak, for him to connect to this earthly, physical, mundane world. So our mission in life is to sanctify this unholy world and make it holy and make it ready and possible for Hashem to connect to this world the way it is, the way it was, and the way it is. To a great extent, it's not holy. It's very mundane, the physical. People are doing all kinds of actions that are animalistic actions, animalistic life people have, and they're not controlling their character traits. It's an unholy world. Our mission as Jews is to sanctify this world and make it holy and make it a place where Hashem, God, could come and reveal himself and give us all the blessings he wants to give us and show us all the things that he wants to show us. But if it's not fit for him to come, we are not worthy of all these great things he has in store for us. Hashem comes close to us, we enjoy great feelings and ideas and life, and Hashem's close. He's the source of all blessings. If we're close to him, we get those blessings. But if we're not close to him, we can't get those blessings like we'd like to. And the holier the world is, the more Hashem is able to come. So therefore, this great person who owns things in the world, Avram Avinu, took over this field from Ephron, the cave and the trees, everything that was there. He bought it from him. It went into the possession of a holy person, a pious person. So therefore, they became more holy themselves, all these things, because a holy person owns them. And therefore, the whole world was gaining a closer connection to Hashem, to God, because Avram Avinu was actively bringing the world to the higher level of holiness by buying that field. And he, since he's a holy person, whatever he owns becomes in a higher level of greatness. And that's our mission in life, that we should make the world more holy and more closer to Hashem, by which we'll be able to receive from him blessings in material things and spiritual things. So this is very important words that we learn, very important Rashi telling us. Avram bought this field from Ephron. It stood up. It had a different level. It became closer to Hashem. The whole world became closer to Hashem because this particular field now became in possession of Avram Avinu. So in order to bring this point out, I want to quote to you words from this holy Sefer Mesilas Yesharim, a few quotations from him that brings out this point in such a wonderful way. I think you'll really appreciate it. One quote. We'll think deeply into them. It's a free translation of what he says. If we'll think deeply in this that we're talking about, the world was created for people to use it, but it's in a situation of a great question: what's going to happen? If the people will be influenced by the mundane world that we live in, with all of the animalistic things going on, the people getting influenced by their desires, like in the time of the Great Flood, the people were acting like animals themselves and not controlling themselves in all different ways. The world will be influenced by it. for people who are acting like animals and not controlling themselves and do animalistic actions like stealing, like all different types of intimate relations with all the different desires that people have, then he will become ruined, become far from his creator, because Hashem, God, is not into physical, he's into spiritual. So a person who gets into the physical part of the world and does everything that's physical, and just because he wants to satisfy all his desires, he will be far from Hashem, and he is ruining himself and ruining the whole world. Because God gave us the world that we're in control. He gave us control to a great extent. He lets us be in control. And if we're going to act like animals, so the whole world will become animalistic, far from Hashem. Hashem cannot, so to speak, come close to animalistic world. He comes only to a holy world. So people acting like that, they become ruined and they ruin the whole world with them. If he controls himself and he's attached himself to his creator and he uses the world to be only a help for his serving Hashem. In other words, when he eats food, he's not eating like an animal. He's eating food because he wants to be healthy to serve Hashem. Most people eat like animals because they enjoy eating. That's it. What's the purpose of eating? To enjoy yourself. Of course, people want to stay healthy. Why do they want to stay healthy? To enjoy themselves. They want to have cravings. They have cravings of animals, and they act like animals, and they do things like animals. But if a person will eat for the purpose of being healthy to serve Hashem, in order to do the mitzvahs of Hashem, a Jewish person, to do the mitzvahs of Hashem, to pray to Hashem, and to keep Shabbos, and to keep Shabbat, all the mitzvahs of the Torah, he wants to stay alive to serve Hashem, he himself becomes elevated, and the whole world becomes elevated with him. Because the world becomes what we do in the world. Hashem gave the world to us, to make it holy or to make it unholy. And this is an example of this that, if you remember, we'll learn about it coming up pretty soon, that when Yaakov was running away from Esav, from his brother who wanted to kill him, and he ran away, and it came nighttime, and he wanted to go to sleep, he needed a pillow, so he took one of the stones to put his head on, and all the stones were fighting over it. They wanted him, that stone wanted Yaakov to use him for a pillow. That all the stones in the world were, and the stones were in that mountain where he was, that place, they're all fighting, so to speak, that Yaakov should put his head on and use them for it, because the world was created for the purpose of man. For the tzaddik, because if Yaakov is going to use that stone would become elevated, and it will bring Hashem closer to the world, because he's using the mundane physical things in the world for spiritual reasons. Why did Yaakov go to sleep? Not because he feels good sleeping, but most people have to go to sleep. They feel rested, they feel so comfortable in that bed, they feel so good about it. That in itself is the purpose. And if they want to get a good night's sleep, in order for tomorrow to eat that good breakfast they want to eat, they keep thinking about mundane physical things. Their whole life is for have more enjoyment, never to enjoyment, physical enjoyment. They're not feeling elevated to spiritual enjoyment, which is much greater than physical enjoyment. So, since Yaakov Avinu, when he put his head on the pillow, he wanted to sleep. Why did he want to sleep? In order to get up tomorrow and be well rested to serve Hashem, to pray to him, to study Torah, to do kindness to people. That's the purpose of sleeping, to serve Hashem, to do great things the next day. So therefore, everything that pillow, that stone that put his head on, even though it wasn't so comfortable, but he didn't have anything better, that stone became elevated, because not only did he own it, but now he used it for the right thing. So tzaddikim, everything that they use in the world becomes elevated to a higher degree of holiness. So, if you understand, bring out the point we said before, that Avram Avinu, when he bought that piece of land from Ephraim. Since he owned it now, naturally it became the higher elevation of holiness to Hashem. And this theme repeated later by the Sultan Shurim, this great idea that we're talking about now, that how tzaddikim, righteous people, control the world to bring it to a higher elevation. Now, I'm in the middle of a paragraph here, but I can't say everything because I don't have enough time, but I want to bring up the main point. HaKadosh, the man who is holy, who clings to his God, to Hashem, and is interested only in the ideas, holy ideas, true ideas, and love of Hashem, of his Creator, and fear of Hashem, and love of Hashem, that person is like he's walking in heaven already. He's not in this world, because this world is a world of physical desires, animalistic life that it presents itself with. And a person who doesn't take advantage of that type of life, doesn't want that type, wants to have a holy life, not an animalistic life. So he becomes holy. And he's considered like the holy temple itself. We know the holy temple in Yerushalayim that King Solomon built was a holy place where Hashem rested. This person becomes like a holy temple himself, like the holy temple in Yerushalayim and Jerusalem. Hashem rests upon them. They're like a chariot to Hashem, the chariot, the holy chariot. If you study the book of Ezekiel, it talks about the holy chariot of Hashem. He becomes a chariot. Hashem rests upon him. And he was like a Beis HaMikdash. If that's the case, so now what did they do in the Beis HaMikdash? They brought sacrifices. They brought different types of animals they sacrificed, different types of bread and matzah, and different things, that wine and oil and flour that they brought sacrifices from. This holy tzaddik, righteous man, becomes like the Beis HaMikdash itself, since he dedicated himself totally to Hashem, only for the right thoughts and the right purpose in his life. So therefore, whatever he eats, it's like he's bringing a korban, like a sacrifice to Hashem, because the altar that had things brought on the altar, burned on the altar, they were sacrificed to Hashem. This man is at Beis HaMikdash, he's the holy temple himself. Because what was the holy temple? The holy temple was a place Hashem rested. He came. It's like Hashem's house. He came into that Beis HaMikdash because it was holy, only holy. Holiness in it. Hashem was holy, couldn't rest. This man is like Hashem rests on him. He made himself holy because he's away from this world, the mundane world. Everything, even though he gets involved in mundane actions, but his purpose for mundane actions for reason for holiness of Hashem. So to eat in order to be healthy to serve Hashem. He sleeps to be rested to serve Hashem. He drinks. Everything he does is for the purpose of serving Hashem. So he becomes like the holy temple himself. So therefore, everything that he does is lifted up and made holy. And therefore, he's bringing down into the world holiness. And listen to this. He says that when a tzaddik will indulge in something which is physical, since he is doing it for the right purpose of serving Hashem, for instance, if he will eat the matzah that's brought in the holy temple, it's made at mitzvah, the Kohen eats the matzah not only becomes holy itself, since it's being used for the holy purpose, but all the flour. Well, how do you make matzah with flour? All the flour in the world becomes on a higher level of holiness, because the flour that was used in the holy temple to bake the right type of bread or matzah that they used to do in the holy temple, when that's eaten by the Kohanim in the Beis HaMikdash, or when a tzaddik eats it any time, and tzaddik was not a Kohen, but he's like the Beis HaMikdash himself, When he eats a piece of bread, he's eating it for the purpose of serving Hashem. He elevates that piece of matzah bread into a higher level of holiness, takes it out of the physical being there was before, and he sanctifies it by having the right idea. All the flour in the world becomes a higher madrig. All the has got a higher level. And therefore the whole world becomes holier. The whole world becomes closer to Hashem. And the whole world now is getting blessed by Hashem because Hashem gets closer to the world. This person who eats it with that idea and he makes it holy, he makes holy the whole thing that he's eating, that he's working with, that whole creation of Hashem becomes in a higher level of holiness. The whole world goes closer to Hashem, and therefore he causes the world to have blessings and good things happening. It's an unbelievable idea. And that's how rabbis tell us. Anybody brings a present to a Talmud Chacham, it's like he brought Bikurim. Bikurim was the first fruit. The Jew person, the farmer, had his first fruit. He had to bring it to the Holy Temple in Yerushalayim. The first fruit of seven types of food, 7 types of vegetation, of either grain or alvas or figs and dates, different types of the 7 types that this land of Israel is known for, is praised with. The first fruits that were grown, he had to bring it to Yerushalayim and give it to the Kohen, bring it to the Holy Temple. When this tzaddik brings to a Talmud, anybody brings to a tzaddik a present, he brings a basket of fruit, it's if he's brought in the Holy Temple. Just like his mitzvah to bring the first fruit to the Holy Temple, to Hashem, if he brings to this holy person whose whole life is dedicated for serving Hashem, he becomes like the Beis HaMikdash himself. So therefore, it's like he brought the first fruit to the temple itself, because this person now is so close to Hashem. So therefore, his holiness makes him like the Beis HaMikdash, like the Holy Temple. Now we understand why it's considered like he brought to the Holy Temple, because the tzaddik himself is a Holy Temple. Everything that they use in the world, they have the right idea. They go to sleep at night. Why do they go to sleep? In order to be able to serve Hashem better. So the bed he sleeps in gets a higher level of holiness because he's using that bed for the right purpose. He goes to the sink to wash his hands. Why is he washing his hands with that cup? Why is he putting the spigot on once he gets water? Why to water? To wash his hands. In order to be able to close to Hashem, he has to make a bracha. You have to have clean hands to make a bracha. Why is he doing that? Why is he taking a shower? Taking a shower should feel good because he wants to be clean and he wants to be awake. And he wants to feel relaxed in order to serve Hashem. So the shower becomes holy. Everything he touches becomes holy because he's using it for the right thing. So he's doing it for Hashem Shemayim. So therefore, we say that a tzaddik, he is sanctifying the world. And everybody is enjoying what he's doing. Because by him sanctifying it, that means he's making it up. It means I'm doing it Hashem, I'm doing it for the service of Hashem. So he brings it to a higher level. It's not just a plain sink that was before. Now it's a holy sink. A holy sink. Now it's a holy house. Why does he live in the house? Because he has to live in the house in order to have to live in order to serve Hashem. So the whole house becomes holy. If it goes to Hashem comes closer, he's making a place for Hashem to come close to. Hashem wouldn't come to close because it's mundane, it's physical, but he made it into a holy place. So therefore Hashem was ready to come and come close to him, close to that tzaddik and everything that he gets involved with. Therefore, once Hashem get close there, Hashem was a source of all blessings. The whole world is gaining by that because Hashem now is going to give everybody blessings because of this tzaddik who brought him close. Therefore, the whole world is going to enjoy it. So this is what we said in the very beginning. I hope I bring out the point good enough that you understand this wonderful idea we're talking about. And this is something that we should all try to be able to mimic and be like the holy person that we're talking about. That people, if we will live for the right purpose, the purpose to serve Hashem, and everything we do is for that purpose. When we eat, when we drink, whatever we do, we take a walk, we go on vacation, whatever, we buy a car, what is the purpose? What ultimate purpose of doing it? If it's in order to serve Hashem better, then we make it holy. We make it holy, Hashem goes to the world. It comes close to the world, the whole world gets a blessing, Hashem's closer to us. And this we're putting it on the Rashi, starting at the very beginning, that he bought that field from Ephron, and the world stood up. Rashi said when it stood up, it was elevated, because now it went out from the hands of a simple person. It was not a good person, Ephron, not a very good person, into the hand of Avraham Avinu, the great person, the righteous prophet of Avinu, Abraham, our father. He owned that field now. Now he owned that field. Avraham Avinu was the tzaddik. Everything, he bought the field of Shem Shemayim, bought the field to bury Sarah in order to do a mitzvah, of course, Hameis, to bury his wife, the tzaddik Sarah. Therefore, he owned that field now, and therefore that field became in a higher level of its being. It's a level of serving Hashem, because the tzaddik owns it. The tzaddik owns it. Now it becomes a great holy place, because the tzaddik bought it for the right purpose, because he owns it. So we have to try to go in the footsteps of great tzaddikim, to try our best, that we should try to do everything in the world, little by little, to get used to it. When we eat in the morning, eat in the afternoon, eat anytime, we should try to think, I'm not only eating because I enjoy eating, I want to be healthy. I want to be healthy because I want to enjoy the world. Yes, of course you want to do that. But what is the ultimate purpose of eating and being healthy? The ultimate purpose is to serve Hashem. In this world, we created to serve Hashem. So we should put that idea in also. That was the whole idea, the purpose. At least we are not that great. But when we eat food, we should think to ourselves, I don't want to make an animal that's eating because it tastes good, because I enjoy it, because I want to satisfy my hunger. Animals do that. I want to eat because I want to be able to help to serve Hashem, to a mitzvah, to be able to give charity, to be able to go to shul, to be able to do what Hashem wants us to do. We go to sleep at night, we try to think, besides, I'm dead tired, I got to go to sleep. That bed feels so good. But think also, I want to sleep tonight in order to get up tomorrow, to say Madani in the morning, to be able to make a bracha when I eat breakfast tomorrow, be able to do a favor for somebody, to help somebody. Should want to be rested whenever we buy a new car. Oh boy, sometimes it's nice to have a new car. Wow, look at that fancy car. Wonderful, but let's think about something more than just, because now you look at everybody in the block is going to say, he got a new car, look at him, not nice, everything. Yeah, but let's look a little deeper, a little more, a higher level. I got a new car, I'll be able to help people, drive people, do favors for people. I'll be able to go to shul on time in the morning, I'll be able to daven. Pray within the shul, I have the car, will take me there in a few minutes, drive somebody to the hospital, somebody needs some help. Everything that we put our hands on, we say to ourselves, I want to do it because I want to be able to do the will of Hashem. And therefore we are sanctifying that object and making it into a holy thing, because we're using it for the right purpose. And therefore, if it's holy, Hashem will come closer to the world will be more holy. Hashem will find his place in the world more. He'll find his place in the world. Therefore, when he comes, he'll be with him, the great blessing that Hashem has with him, the source of all blessings. So this is the great lesson that we're learning from this little Rashi over here. Ephron bought the field from Ephron, the field and the trees, and the cave in it stood up at a higher level of greatness. Hashem was able to come close and give the world blessings. And that's what we should try to have. It's not so simple, but it's not that hard either. If we do little by little, to have the right idea, we do something, not only keep our bodies in mind, but we keep our soul in mind also, that we want to do, because we want to be in a higher level of greatness to serve Hashem, that bring Hashem closer to the world.